Bonjour, everyone. Hi, this is Neshi Lokotz, and welcome to the Spiritual Roundtable Dream Interpretations right here at our private group on Facebook, Star Nation's live stream shows private group. And welcome. Thank you for joining me on a Sunday, whether it's afternoon or evening, wherever you're living. I appreciate it. This is a time when we can get together as a community and share things that information that's coming from our dreams, from our meditations. If you'd like to share one with me, with us, if you'd like to get some another perspective on it, maybe you're looking for some help in understanding it, or you have got a message through dream or through meditation that you'd like to share with all of us. Any of that is perfectly fine. Please just put it into the comments and we'll have a nice spiritual conversation about those things. And let's see, we're using BeLive, our partners at BeLive, which means that we can show your comments on the screen, all kinds of cool stuff. But one of the things that in groups that, because BeLive is what we call a third-party app in Facebook, that we won't be able to see. Rob and I, thank you, Rob, for producing the show, by the way, won't be able to see your profile name and picture if you didn't give BeLive permission to use your profile and picture. And thank you, Rob. Rob just listed and put into the comments the link that if you'd like us to see your name and your profile in the comments in the studio, just click the link and give them permission, BeLive, to use your picture and your name, okay? And it's only for BeLive. They can't use it for anything else, all right? But if you choose not to do that, if you could put your name at the last end of your comment, so that way it's very helpful to both Rob and I to know who made the comment. All right, it's helpful for the conversation, right? Right. So welcome, everybody. I know it feels like we haven't seen each other in a really long time, and it's because it's been 2 weeks. And I missed you guys. So I'm hoping that we're going to have a really cool conversation today. So Rob, if you could show on who's all here, we can say hi, and then we'll get started with the dreams. From Barbara. Hello, Barbara. Good to have you here. That's Angelica Crow. Hello, both of you, if you're both watching. So good to have you here. And if you have any comments, please let us know, okay, about the dreams or meditations. That's always good. Hey, Nicole, she says, just want to wish everybody Happy New Year, love and light. Happy New Year to you too, Nicole. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today as we wait for people to make their comments. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Julie's here too. Hello, Julie. And Julie Hedges, happy birthday to you too, lady. Today is Julie's birthday. If I could sing, I would sing happy birthday to you. But I can't carry a tune in a bucket. So I'm just wishing you a really beautiful day for your birthday. And I'm so glad you're here with us. And maybe we can celebrate a little bit together, right? Okay. Thanks, everybody. One of the things I wanted to yeah, we're in the private group, which means that I wouldn't necessarily ask you to be sending the live stream out to your page or anything like that, because only those that are members in this particular group will be able to see this live stream. So if you have friends or family that you know that are members here at our private group, go ahead and share it with them, okay? In case they'd like to join us. Hey, Christina, good to have you here, lady. It's good to see you here. Thank you for joining us. Hey, oh my gosh, Mervin's here too. Hello, Mervin. We have 2 live stream show hosts for Star Nations in the house, Julie and Mervin. Hello. Hello there. Good to have you here. Good evening, I should say, huh? For Mervin. He's across the pond, over in England. And Happy New Year to you too, Angie, or Angelica. I'm not sure which one you'd like to use as your name, Angie or Angelica. And so if you know of somebody who you think would enjoy hanging out with us, please send over the link to them, and we will get them welcome them too. I was just looking for us in our group, and I can't find us. And I know we're here somewhere. I know we're here. Rob, could you check that out for me, please? I know we're here. I don't see us in the live stream group. And I think it's because we're not in the group. We're on our fan page, our business page. That's why I can't find us. All right, I'm going to jump over there. Hang on. I'm on my phone, so I am going to head over in that direction. Yeah, because, oops. Here we go. Now I'll be able to find us. Because we usually do the dream interpretation in the group, but I think we grabbed the link to, there we are. Well, we're going to be able to see exactly who's making comments and that sort of thing, because we can see that on our business page. Why? Because it's open to the public. Okay. All right. So this is good. Yay. Glad I could find us. All right. So I'm going to bring back what I just said about sharing the link with friends and family. Why don't you drop it wherever you'd like to whoever you'd like to, because we're in the public business part of Star Nations. And this is where I normally do Communications from Home, my weekly show, and also my other daytime weekly show, the sister to the Spiritual Roundtable, is where the card draw happens for the group. All right. Hey, Rochelle's here too. She's going, hello, Neshi. Hello, Rochelle. She said, Deb gave me the Amazon Fire tablet. She did. Congratulations. Tried to see you on this contraption. So back to my cell phone. Oh, well, you'll learn how to do that. You will. Because, yeah, you got the fire. Paul's got the Fire tablet too. And so, yeah, you just need to practice with it a little bit. You'll be able to see us on that as well. Yeah. So good for you. Nice present. Good. Thank you, Rochelle. Rochelle's always nicely, kindly reminds me about the grounding, right? And so it's always a really good idea for us to be grounded, right? Grounded, centered, and protected. And for those of you who are using techniques that last about 12 hours, you'll want to do it twice a day. And whenever we do this kind of conversation and information sharing, it's always good to be in a position where you can take in as much of the information that's optimal for you. Okay. So if you haven't done your grounding today, you might want to do that. Yeah. So this show is all about our dreams. Hello, Karen. Good to have you here. Is all about our dreams, right? What we have, those communications that we have with spirit in our dream time while our physical body is at rest. And since we started this show about dream interpretation, we have also added whenever we're in meditation, because basically both instances, our spirit body is doing the work, right? Yeah, it's good stuff too. Good conversation. Okay. Hey, Julie, thank you. Thank you for doing that. She sprinkled with love to other places about the live stream. That's always nice. Thank you so much. Like I said, it's been 2 weeks since we've done one of these shows, and I missed you guys. I'm hoping that everybody had a joyful holiday for Christmas, for Hanukkah. I think tonight is the last night of Hanukkah, and the winter solstice. I think we were together for that one. That week, I think. I don't remember. It's kind of all kind of mishmashed together, right? Kind of keeping track of the days. So one of the things I wanted to share with you guys today about dreaming is we're going to include our daydreams today as well. Okay. And in our daydreams, those times when, we're thinking about what something would be like, right? Or have you ever gotten lost in a daydream? lost track of time, getting information. You don't realize that it's kind of the information coming from your spiritual team during that time frame. Have you ever done that? I certainly have. And as children, and even young adults, right? Many times we were told just to stop daydreaming. Your head's always in the clouds, right? And that's okay, as long as you're grounded and you can bring those dreams into reality, right? So it's really important about our intention, even when you're daydreaming. Okay, your intention. I get the best information from my spiritual team during daydreams. And a lot of that time, sometimes it's during those parts of my day that are filled with kind of the mundane, right? The mundane, like doing dishes or vacuum cleaning, right? Brushing out Georgie. During those moments where my mind, that busy part of us that's always constantly going someplace, is taken up by something that's kind of rote, right? Something that we do every day that we don't really pay much attention to the thoughts of it, because it's something that we do all the time, right? But our mental mind is fully engaged in that activity, which means our subconscious self, our inner child, our higher self can come through with a spiritual information for us, right? And so those daydreams can be very important as well. Very important. In fact, you may have heard this phrase, dream the dream, right? I'm going to dream the dream, because the ancient Mayan, they believed that everything that we see right now is all a part of a created dream. And we co-create all the time, right? That everything and anything that we see that we deem physical is actually a part of that dream. So that co-creation, right? And so I include daydreaming in that, because it's a part of bringing in what we would like to ground to the earth plane, right? Yeah. So dreaming the dream. How many people, if you wouldn't mind sharing that about the daydreams, okay? That would be nice. Hey, Kimberly's here too. Hello, Kimberly. It's good to have you here. Happy holidays to you too. Yeah, that Kimberly, it's got to be late over by you too. Rochelle says, yes, I lose time a lot, at least 4 times a day. Yeah, and you're grounded. You're really good at remembering to ground, Rochelle. And to be able to access spiritual information like that, some people would actually call that a meditation as well. When we do our daydreams, yeah. Yeah, I think that we have to expand how we connect with spirit, right? Then let's say what we thought we were doing, and we were 5-10 years ago, right? Where we felt we had to actually carve out going to meditation class, or making sure that we did our morning meditations, right? Still a really good thing to do. But I think we need to expand how we dream the dream. Rob, if you could put Christina's up, thank you. Christina says, I have moments where this whole scenario runs through my head, and then I shake my head and then come back to reality. Sometimes it feels like I went somewhere and came back. It's because you did. Your soul did. Your physical body remained in your physical place, right? But your soul, your spirit self, isn't bound by how we measure time and space here, right? Our mental mind is, our physical body is, because we chose that, but our spirit isn't. And so you probably did go other places, went to other realms, right? Maybe did some remote viewing into what some would call the middle plane, the middle world, which is right here in spirit, right? and so went to go check something out. We could do that very easily as well. But make sure, Christina, that you're grounded. Okay, you do your grounding and protection and your centering. And depending on what you're using, you're going to have to do it twice a day, unless you have your activated Merkaba field. That is 24/7, 365. But if you're doing anything less than that, then you need to do it at least twice a day, because it's good for about 12 hours. Okay, just make sure you're grounded. Thank you for sharing that. Julie says, I got lots of messages on the bathtub and driving. Yes. Especially because we're immersed in water when we're bathing, right? Especially in a bathtub or a soaking tub, we are more open to receiving, because one, we're relaxed, and two, water is a very good conduit, right, for energy. And so that's why it's always good to be hydrated. And I know that Julie is following instructions from her, and strong suggestions from her spiritual team about being hydrated, and really do need to be hydrated to be in that open channel, right? And driving. Yeah. Have you ever been driving and you're going the same route that you do a lot, right? And so you could do it practically by not just memory, but with your eyes closed. Don't do that. It's a little dangerous, but you know what I mean? You're driving it and you know exactly where you are, and your mind kind of wanders, right? Your mind wanders, and you can get some good information during that time from spirit as well. In fact, one time I was driving to Michigan. That's a 6-hour drive for me. And I was listening to the radio, and I kept the stations wouldn't come in very clear and that sort of thing. And so I switched over to my phone to listen to some powwow music and my own music on my phone, right? And for some reason, that wasn't working very well either. So what I ended up doing was talking to my spiritual team, right? And we got a lot of work done. A lot of information came through, downloaded information. And that was about the time when, that was the weekend I received my pipe. And yeah, 6 hours. 6 hours of that. Because every time I went to turn the radio on or to get some music coming to my phone, it'd work for like maybe a minute or two, and then it wouldn't. And then I'd be back in conversation with my spiritual team. So driving, but be careful. Make sure you're grounded. Make sure you're grounded. Yeah. All right. Angelica is saying all the time. Yes, all the time. And working on that, on what my spirit is saying. Yes. Being connected, right? And being attentive to what you're hearing, what you're feeling, what you're receiving, right? What you're receiving. Because especially when we're in the energy of the collective energy this time of year, right? I would say probably from October, mid to end of October, to the beginning of January, right? Is that we're all in this collective energy where we're talking a lot, thinking about immersing ourselves in the energy of a new year, right? Because we start out with Samhain or Halloween, which is a new year for the Celts, and any belief system that's earth-based, basically. And then from that point forward, we're really immersed in the collective about New Year's, the new year that's coming, the new year that is coming. And if you are open to receiving energy in that way, you've probably been feeling the new year 2020 energy since October, right? And so we get immersed in it. And so it's a good time of year to be able to be well aware, awake, conscious of what you're thinking and what you're dreaming about for what you want to bring into the new year, right? Including your daydreams, including how you use your words, your phrases, right? Because with this much energy collectively that we've got going, it's manifesting something becomes very quick. Yeah. So you want to be conscious of the words that you're using too. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Christina's saying, I know that feeling. It happens often. Rob's talking to Christina. Yeah. Yeah. Because, when we're awake in our life, right? Once you're awake, you can never go back to sleep, spiritually speaking, right? Spiritually speaking, once you've made the decision to be awake in your life, consciously aware of your actions and your thoughts and your communications with spirit, you can never go back to sleep. You can never fully ignore what's coming through. And especially if it's coming through your dreams. Yeah, because I tell you what, dreams right now are pretty potent. They're very powerful. For the reason because we are so immersed into that energy field, that collective energy field about the new year. Right? Yeah. All right. Got to take a drink. Karen saying, there are times in my daydreams I also get different smells like my dad's pipe smoke or flowers. So he's coming to visit, right? He's coming to check on you, just to say hello sometimes. And so even with the flowers, that's meaningful to you. For another loved one, I'm hearing the word beloved, that comes to say hello, right? Yeah, mine too. My dad was more his cologne, his aftershave, that I smell. Or, well, he was part of that generation that used a lot of hair product, Brill cream, and remembering the smell of that, right? Yeah, and he used to smoke cigarettes a long, long time ago. And so, Winston cigarette smoke on occasion, right? Yeah. And for my grandpa, sometimes it's citrusy. It's like oranges or something like that, tangerines, and the pipe as well. Tobacco smoke, right? Yeah, from a pipe. Yeah, brings back good memories too for me. That pipe smoke, that smell. And Angie's saying, as often, and with others, sometimes replaying old scenarios. Yeah, that revisiting, right? Revisiting. I wonder though, Angelica, about that revisiting old scenarios, right? That replay. And is there a message in there for you? You know? Because on occasion, doesn't happen a lot, but on occasion for me, I remember um, travel, locations, highways, streets, right? Places I've been before, and they'll just pop in. It's like, Highway 12 going toward Baraboo. It's like, why? Right. Or parts of highways that in other states that I've been. And that is, I've learned over the years that my team, my spiritual team, getting a message to me about the path that I'm traveling, right? The path that I'm traveling currently. So they're bringing in images for me that would be meaningful to me, right? To get the message, right? About that travel. Yeah. That replaying. Trying to change. Yeah. I mean, that is change what happened. I see. And, we can do that. We can do that. Or at least frame it in a way that we change the energy flow of it and how it affects us personally, right? Yeah. Of course, there's a life lesson in all of that too, right? And so sometimes a lot of it is understanding with a bit more clarity about the life lesson and how you bring that information, that knowledge in, so that when you start to apply what you learned from that, that's where the wisdom comes from, that application part, right? Because you're applying it to your current life. Yeah. And so in some respect, you are changing the outcome of not necessarily that particular sequence of events, but how it plays out in the current time frame, earthly time frame, right? Because there's something that I truly believe in, and that is that we experience spherically, we sense spherically. So there's only the present. There's really no past and really no future. Everything is right now, occurring right now. Okay. And so when we have something that we've experienced before in a past, we can bring it into the present time frame with us so that we can understand it better, right? Yeah. We're creators. We can do that. We can create a different ending. How many people have done that in their dreams? Their nighttime dreams, where you realize that you're in a dream and you're thinking, well, wait a minute. I can do that differently. I can have it play out this way. And you change something, right? Yeah, that's lucid dreaming. When you realize that you're in a dream and that you can do this a bit differently. It doesn't have to happen exactly like that. We can have a more positive outcome. Or I can actually have a conversation with this person, right? Yeah. So we can change it. Sure, why not? Rochelle said, this past Saturday, I went to my bank 28 miles north of me. I was told 3 times to call the bank, but foolishly, I did not listen. So I drove north and went to the bank, and it was not open for not listening to my spiritual team. Oh my gosh. I think we probably have all done that, Rochelle, on occasion, right? If I would have only listened. Well, that was actually a graceful way, really, of showing to you, about paying attention to the suggestions that come in, and because we still have that gift of free will, right? Yeah. So it's all a learning. It's all a process of learning, a process of remembering, right? I bet you anything, the next time you get the same kind of message, you're going to actually make the call. Thanks for sharing that, Rochelle, because I tell you what, a lot of us have been through that. Julie says, sorry, lost the feed. Now I'm back. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad you're back, Julie. Glad you're back. And Angelica says, nighttime I can, daytime it's a struggle. Yeah. That's because our mental mind is engaged, right? Yeah. If you put it into a daydream, it might be easier, right? And my suggestion is give something for your mental mind to do, right? Something that doesn't take a lot of concentration, focus, right? That's probably why I do mine when those kinds of things happen when I'm doing dishes or something like that. But here's this. If you are good at like knitting or crocheting or needlework or something that your hands are going to be doing, right? That doesn't need a lot of focus, a lot of attention, that your mental mind gets involved with that. And your subconscious self, your spirit self, it finds the space to be able to do the other work, right? There was a time, let's see, we've lived here for 13 years. It was in 2006, maybe 5, something like that. My team was showing me all kinds of things about knitting. Now, I know how to knit, but I don't find it relaxing whatsoever. And they were encouraging me to knit. And I kept refusing. It's like, I don't want to knit. No, I'm not doing that. And pretty soon, it's like, okay, now wait. Please explain to me why you want me to knit. Why? Because if I can understand the why, maybe I can actually get this done, right? So I was resisting. I was resisting. And so what they shared with me was that for me, knitting would be another form of meditation. And it was showing me how to do something like that, what's called open eye meditation. And I said, okay, fine, I'll knit, but I'm not making nothing. Because to me, that's the hard part. That's where you're counting and picking up a stitch or dropping a stitch or changing the stitch or, And so I knit. And so I would make scarves. I bought 2 skeins of yarn. Just a simple knit and purl, nothing fancy. I'd make the scarf. I'd take it apart. I'd make the scarf. I'd take it apart. People would ask me, what are you making? I'd say nothing. But it was a way, and I tell you what, it opened up a different way of receiving information, because I was giving my mental mind, literally my hands, something to do, and there was no true focus to it, right? And so that I learned something from that. So I don't know if that's helpful to you or not, Angelica, but you might want to try it. Anything that you can do very easily with your process with your hands, right? Yeah. That's right. And I was not making anything. Not in that way. Through my daydreams and through the information coming through the from spirit, I certainly was co-creating, but it was not in a knitting kind of way. Rob said, I SED to be able to lucid dream. It's only recently I've been able to dream again since becoming attuned to Reiki. Oh, yeah, because it opened up another path. Your synapses, you were snapping. You were being snappy in a different kind of way, right? It's opening up a new pathway. And I think that that's kind of what my team was showing me about the knitting piece. Now, I have to say that my mother-in-law used. Okay. I get it. You used to do that. Now, I have to say that with the knitting piece is that my mother-in-law actually shared with me that I could do something with the knitting if I wanted to. I could knit rectangles, a certain size rectangles, and it didn't matter what kind of yarn I used. And when I filled up a certain size box with these rectangles, I could send them into a place called Keep America Warm. And it's a not-for-profit organization that takes those, and someone else takes the rectangles and stitches them, sews them together into a blanket. And then those blankets are then shipped to other places where people who need blankets can have a blanket. And so I was then doing rectangles. So when somebody would ask me, what are you knitting? I'd say a rectangle, because that's what I was doing. Yeah. So it turned it into something nice. Angelica's saying, I usually make pies, and I do knit, but all difficult. Best is Navajo rug weaving. Yeah. And you could do that too. Like I said, the best way is to be able to do something whether it's the weaving, is where you don't have to do a whole lot of concentration or focus on it, right? Right. So that it frees up a space energetically for you to do the other work, but it keeps the mental mind busy with something productive, right? Pies. I am doing a lifestyle change, and it has to do with my diabetes. And I could have a bite of pie, but I can't have a whole slice. I could taste it. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Angelica, for sharing that. Yep. Rob's saying that thing you do, it's all snappy. It is. You know, there were firing synapses all the time, even in our dreams. It's amazing. Christina says, walking in nature is my favorite. Yes. Yes. In fact, I took Georgie for a walk on Friday. He had one day this past week at daycare, was Monday. And that little guy, I tell you what, you could see the energy. He had so much of it, right? Didn't know what to do with it. He was trying to get me to play all the time. And so finally I got bundled up, got my boots on. I went for a walk with him, and just on our property here, right? And there's a place where he can run off leash. And so I was throwing a ball to him, and I'd make him run up the hill rather than running down the hill to fetch the ball, but up the hill to try to get him tired. And we sat there for I don't know how long. Just he was out sniffing around and things like that. But I was listening to the trees creak, and it was nice just to sit out there in the quiet. So thank you, Christina. Yes, definitely. What a George! I know, he's such a cutie. Which, by the way, guys, George and I will be doing a special short live stream on New Year's Eve day, probably in the afternoon. I promised that Georgie and I would do this special live stream when we were working on getting the likes up on our fan page, and we did it. So Georgie's got to do a special live stream on the 31st. What is that? Tuesday, right? Tuesday afternoon. So hopefully you guys will be able to join us. Yeah. Okay. So I got to check the time. All right. I want to show you guys something. Rob, could you do me a favor and either do the crawler across the bottom or my name up on the screen? Something like that. For the name of the show. We forgot to do that. I want to show you something. For January 8th, that is the first Wednesday that I'm going to be doing my Wednesday daytime weekly show. Okay. And we got a change of the cards, and I want to show you guys the cards. So hopefully you'll be able to join me for that or watch the replay, the recorded. This is the new deck of cards we're going to be using. Sacred Spirit reading cards by Anna Stark. Yeah. Got this as a present. And I thought, let's use them together. They're brand new cards, brand new deck. We'll be learning the cards together. And so with the Spiritual Roundtable on Wednesday afternoons, the daytime show is all about the card draw. That's for everybody. And so whatever you resonate with, that feels good to you, that's your piece, right? And so, yeah. And I have to say, I don't know if you guys can see, maybe if I show the book. And I like the inside of the box too. Let me take it out. I don't know if you guys can see this. The inside of the box. See the tree? Isn't that cool? Yeah. It's a brand new deck of cards. It's illustrated by Louis Dyer. Brand new deck. I mean, literally brand new. It was just published in 2019. But here is the cover of the book. I'll show it a little bit closer. A stag, an elk, spiritual reading cards by Anna Stark. It says spiritual guidance for your life journey. Yeah, so that's the deck we're going to be starting using January 8th for as long as Spirit wants us to, until I get the nudge to change again. And so what I wanted to share with you guys about that was earlier today, I was working on Star Nations magazine, the January issue, and I was actually preparing Ortrun Franklin's article for preparing it for layout. And because they've been so busy, Ortrun and Carl, with Santa Claus duties, this is the time of year that Ortrun actually takes a break from writing. And so we're going to be using one of their past shows, and a very old show from 2016. And so I needed to download the audio from that from Blog Talk Radio. Now, some of you didn't even know, I bet that we were an internet radio network at one time. And so that's a pretty old show. And so I downloaded the audio for it to get it prepped. And I was looking at all of those shows that we did from February 2013 to September 2017, right? 4 years worth of shows. There's over 800 shows still on Blog Talk Radio as past shows, recordings. And so one of the things I was considering is like, wow, we should download some of those shows that we still have show hosts here with us for the live stream shows, and get those uploaded for you guys so you can get at them a little bit easier on YouTube, right? And I was thinking, gee, I wonder if we should do that. That's a lot of energy to put into a project. And so I was thinking, is that where we want to place the energy? And so I thought I'd use the new cards. And since the cards are prepared to be used, in other words, they've been cleared and they've been blessed, I thought, well, let's draw a card and see what should we do with those old past shows that are audio, right? And this is the card that came. Literally flew out of the deck. Cosmic Ancestors. Cosmic Ancestors. It says, voice your concerns. Don't you like that card? Look at that. Voice, Cosmic Ancestors. And it's number 10 in the deck, which, numerology that turns into a 1, and that's about the flow of energy, the creator. And here's the one thing that jumped out at me, right, with this. And it says, right now you must learn from those who have walked before you. Those who have already shown a light on injustices require you to evolve and awaken into a passionate contributor. Now is the time to stand up and be counted. Call upon the energy of 100% pure light galactic guides, masters, or teachers to assist you in understanding your personal connection. Okay. The affirmation is, I continuously evolve with conscious action. So here was my take on it. And this is what, when I was looking at the card, I was feeling like, okay, this is, for me, this is a sign, a symbol of, this is a good idea. Do it. Take action. Take action. So I'm going to put that on my list of things to create and to do in 2020, and that is to find assistance and help to download those shows of the current show hosts so that we can get them prepared and uploaded to YouTube so that you guys, our audience, will be able to access those much easier. Yeah, and we can share them a lot easier too. So that was a little bit of a daydreaming kind of situation. That's why I wanted to talk about daydreaming. Because after I downloaded the audio, I was sitting there with my coffee and I was thinking about this a bit, looking out at the fog because it rained last night here. It was really foggy this morning, and I was daydreaming about this. I said, "What would it be like to have those available? All those past shows. Would there be any value to that? To download them, recreate them, repurpose them, and bring them to the current audience in a way that's much easier to access." And so I daydreamed about it, and then I drew the card, and the card was a confirmation for me that this is a good use of energy to do this. Yeah. So Rochelle says card has much in. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It does. Yeah. So a little bit about Anna Stark, I mean, sorry. It says that she's a professional intuitive and energy specialist. She began reading tarot at age 15, and she would sense spirit constantly through her readings. She grew up in New South Wales, Australia. So we got another Australia connection here. And I'm thinking, who is it that we have watching the shows quite often from Australia? Gonna think about that. She says that in an effort to heal her own stress, panic attacks, and anxiety in her early 20s, Anna began to explore natural methods of healing. And so she soon became trained in Reiki and kinesiology. She says she aims to educate, creating awareness about our mind's healing potential, intuition, energy, and our conscious being. Yeah, and she's also a channel as well. So, yeah. And the illustrator, yeah, got to turn the page. Illustrator is Louis Dyer. He's a digital artist living in the UK. His artwork has been featured in magazines such as Digital Arts, Lucuma magazine, and Dreamland magazine. It says, for my love for art began at age 5 when I witnessed a cousin drawing and was mesmerized by the magic of creation. Yeah, kind of cool. So I'll let you look at the card one more time here. Okay. And for us here at Star Nations, it looks like the stars, doesn't it, in the background? And the image of the person there, right? It so reminded me of when he's talking about the cosmic ancestors, is that we carry within us our ancestors in our DNA, right? In our blood and in our bones. And that picture reminded me of that. And at some point, we become the ancestors, right? When we transition, when we walk on, we return home and we become part of the ancestors. And so whatever we're doing right now, is really providing wisdom for our descendants. Yeah. So I can't wait to start sharing those cards with you guys on January 8th, next Wednesday. Wednesday afternoon, we'll do the first card reading with it. All right. So how about a little information about what's going on here at Star Nations? There's lots going on. Thank you, Rochelle. Yeah, it does have a lot of energy, doesn't it, that card? Lots going on. I mentioned the magazine, right? For the January issue. We're at the very beginning parts of that with the layout, a lot of creative energy going on with it. But with the magazine, we got some other things happening as well. And I'm hoping you guys are going to like it. We, after 6 years of having a partnership with a company called Magcast, they're the ones that I remember when I first found them, it was like being thunderstruck. I knew that we needed to do this. I was looking for a different way of blogging, and I wanted to do more than blogging or video blogging, right? And I wanted somehow, some way to combine the two, and what vehicle to ride in with that. And synchronicity, our company that we partnered a long time ago, was the first to arrive, and so we were with them for 6 years. Well, we're changing partners. We're changing dance partners. We're going to be partnering and have partnered with a company called issuu.com. That's ISSUU.com. And they basically do the same thing, but they have a different kind of energy feel to them. Basically, what happened is we outgrew our old partners, and there's nothing wrong with that. They're still a really good group of people, and they're very helpful, but we outgrew them. And so issuu.com is going to help us to be able to offer the magazine still in digital form, still as a PDF and web version, but it's how it's packaged is going to look different. So very excited about that. We're hoping that we're going to have the January issue out with our new partners. And we're really working hard to get that done. And so for those that have subscriptions through iTunes and Google, please contact me. You can send me a messenger message, okay, and let me know. And we'll have a discussion about that. We're going to be taking care of you so that you can pick up your subscription through our new partners. All right. Yeah, I'm very excited about it. I hope you guys are going to like it. If you know anything about flip books, it's very similar to that. Okay. And we still have our partnerships with MagCloud. So if you're getting your magazine as a print version, you can still do that through MagCloud. Okay. That hasn't changed. So we're very excited about it. Lots of energy going into it. Hey, Deborah's a part of that. Deborah, yeah, I know it, isn't it? Deborah is actually on board as one of the Star Nation's executive team. She is helping me with the magazine and with the new subscription, because guess what? Because we have somebody helping me with it, we're going to be offering a subscription for the print magazine. We haven't had that. That's brand new. And so we're getting that framework all put together and in place. And so Deborah is going to be helping me with that. And so if you want a subscription for the print magazine, we'll have more details about it soon out on the website, and we'll be talking about it too on the first Communications from Home show. Kimberly said, received the December issue and loved it. Oh, thank you, Kimberly. Oh my gosh, that December issue was something else. Just to be able to work on it. There's a lot of, very angelic energy in that one. Kimberly is saying, yes, that's amazing. It's productive to move forward. Yes, it is. It is. You have to, okay. One thing I know for sure is trusting my spiritual team, and when they give me the nudges in when to shift, right? When to shift, when to pivot, when energy is changing, and when to tap into that change, makes life fun. All right, so that's the magazine, and we also have a couple of classes coming up for you guys. I'm going to be in Michigan, June, I think it's the 20th, June 20th, to do a drum making workshop. For those of you who have been waiting for me to come back over to Michigan so you can make your drum, I'll be there June 20th in near Hastings, Michigan, at Woods Edge Healing and Retreat Center. It's run by a good friend of mine, Lori DeDecker. And so I'll be there in June 20th. Okay. And that is up on the website right now. Rob, if you could put that link up, I would appreciate it. And so that's the very first class that we have listed for 2020. We're still working on the online classes for you guys. We have something that's going to be kind of special. Yeah, I'm going to be in New England, which link? The Star Nations Academy website link. And the website, the Academy page link. So we have coming up May, the end of May, the 29th through the 31st of May, I will be at Trinity Healing Sanctuary. That's Polly Joe's school and healing center. And so we're going to be offering classes that weekend and possibly even a healing day on Sunday. Okay. So, yeah, we're pulling that one together too. I'm hoping to have some online classes with the teachers that are going to be involved in the in-person sessions in May. We're hoping to have online classes with Maureen Mann, Angel Therapy, right? With Ed Langdon, Life Wisdom, and also with Polly Jo LeBay, Chakra Sessions, and with myself. Okay, so you're going to have 4 of us together on the East Coast. So if you're close enough to that, you can join us, right? Or fly in for it. Yep. Yeah. Okay, so Rob's going to put that link up for the Academy for the website as soon as he gets to it. And so, yeah, so you can see we haven't been sitting still. Deborah says, love my drums. I'll be playing today. Oh, yay. Yeah, I know. Deborah was in the last Wisconsin class. And we'll have another Wisconsin class too for drum making. I haven't planned that one out yet. I usually do 2, one here and one in Michigan. And so for the one here, probably not until later in the summer, like in July, right? Something like that. Yeah. Let's see. I think that's about it for right now. There it is. I think that's it. Yes, it is. Thank you. And I'm trying to think of what else. We're at the top of the hour. I think that's it. So look for those online classes, the information coming up about them. And I'm thinking we're going to do something special with that. So look for that information. Yeah, so I can't wait. I can't wait to get the plans started for 2020 to actually get them rolling in the earth plane so you guys can experience it. All right. Well, with that, we're at the top of the hour. Thank you so much for being with me today for the Spiritual Roundtable Dream Interpretations. I appreciate the time that you spend with me, and I so enjoy it. I really do. And so we'll be back next Sunday for Spiritual Roundtable Dream Interpretation, and we'll be back into the private group for that show. Okay. All right. So, Bama Mina in Potawatomi, that means until we see each other again. Love you guys.